Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down and having a blanket underneath the shoulder blade. So if you had a towel, you could roll it up, or I've just got a little blanket I use for yoga here, a long, narrow support. And when you lie on it, it feels like it's pressing your shoulder blades and your head feels supported by the floor. If it feels like you are trying to squash the back of your neck to reach the floor, then your support is too high under your shoulder blades. Maybe you need to wiggle back a little bit, or another pillow under your head. Aiming for nice long neck, back and front. And we'll bring the feet, the soles of the feet together, knees out wide, in Baddha Konasana. If that feels too strong for any reason, just do neutral legs, which are hip width parallel feet and legs. And let yourself settle into the shape of the posture, bringing your focus to your breathing. And then we'll reach the arms overhead and palms facing up. This will feel like a nice stretch in front of the ribs, across the armpits. Arms can be a little bit soft even. Still feeling the breath. Noticing if there is some discomfort. You might have some kind of shoulder injury. And then stretching your arms out. Palms up. Letting your body take on the shape of the equipment. Acknowledging where you might need to be extra compassionate and take extra care. Beautiful. Bring your arms and your legs in, and we'll roll carefully. Take it slow to the right side. And then come into forward virasana. So kneeling towards the back of your mat and knees out wide. Make enough space for your belly to be comfortable, your ribs, and reaching your arms forward. Coming on up into an all fours position. And really gather the front core of your body. And we're going to lift the right leg and stretch it out behind. Lift it up nice and high. And we're going to use the gluteus muscle, that right gluteus muscle, to lift the leg and look forward. Good. And then we'll release that side. And we're going to do that from side to side. The left leg's going to lift up, looking forward. Good. And then right leg. Good. So you're feeling like you're supporting your spine with the core of the body. So that's the front core as well as the back core lifting the leg. Just using the gluteus muscles to lift up that little bit higher. Beautiful. Finish this cycle on your left leg. Nice work. And now we're going to do the arm as well. So when you lift your right leg, it's your left arm. So make sure your fingers are stretching out nice and straight and you're using your fingerprints. Okay, so lifting the right leg and the left arm and look forward. Good. And then back to center. And again. Feeling strong in the core of the body. Nice work. And take a moment into child's pose. Excuse me for 1 second. And from child's pose, stretch your arms forward, forward virasana. Feeling the flow of breath. The back of your torso broad and long and spacious with the flow of breath. Good. And then back up into all fours. And a little different this time. When you lift your right leg, you're going to take it out to the right side. And the left arm is going to go out to the left side. So we're moving out from center or off the parallel. So it's a little heavier. So pay attention to how the core of the body feels, the back body feels. So left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. Come back to center. Right leg out to the right, left arm out to the left, and back to center. And left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. Beautiful, center. One more cycle. Nice work. Come into a kneeling position. Now, if you take your blanket and make it a nice little cushion shape, so I'm just going to double mine over, and lift your hips up a bit higher from the floor. It's not as strong in your knee. If you can't bend your knees to this angle, you could just kneel up and tuck your toes under. Or else sitting with your feet out in front. Kneeling position, we're going to palms together, interlock the fingers, press the palms out. Keep your shoulders down. We want to keep the most distance from the ears to the shoulders as you lift your arms. And again, you're paying attention to your shoulders, taking a compassionate and curious approach as to how far you can take your small fingers back. And keeping that extra length at the sides of the neck. Lift the sides of the waist, the rib cage, and feel the flow of breath. Good. And turn your torso to look left. Good. Back to center. And turn your torso to look right. And back to center. Good. And then release. And notice with the arms up, if it forces the lower back to curve in, we need to really strongly use the front core of the body to support. So interlock the fingers the other way, with the other index finger on top, press out through the palm, and make more space from the ears to the shoulders. Raising your arm. So feel what the arm movement is doing to your back, and really use the front core of your body to support. Beautiful. Reaching up through the palms, and then turn your torso to look to the right. Back to center, and turning your torso to look to the left. Ooh, okay. And then releasing. We're going to be back into all fours. And then downward facing dog pose. So knees are going to lift off the floor. Have the knees bent and the heels lifted high. Stretch the fingers out wide and press your fingertips. And we'll let the head hang down here. And the shoulders be wide. And then lengthen and broaden the armpits. And then pressing the heels down. Feeling the flow of breath, so you could inhale from the palms of the hands and soles of the feet through the whole body. Beautiful. Now we're going to walk the feet together. So we're going to put our center of gravity right under the middle, and then take your right leg up. Good. And in the same way that we did before, we want to use the buttock muscles for that last part of the lift. So right buttock muscles lifting the leg high. Opening the chest still towards the leg. Let the head just hang down. Good. And then release that leg down. So the hips, sorry, I didn't say the hips stay level here. Left leg up. We're going to keep the hips level, but use your buttock muscles to lift the leg higher at the end of that lift. Keep the head just hanging down. Good. So the back core is engaged, front core is engaged, and we're breathing deeply. Release that side. Nice. We're going to lift up again. Right leg lifts. And be lighter in the left hand, even lift up onto the fingertips. And if you can try taking your hand off the floor. Ooh. Release that leg. Good. I've got slippery hands today. And then left leg up. Today of all days. We're going to lift using the buttock muscles. Keep the hips level to the floor. Try to be lighter in the right hand, even up onto the right fingertips, even lifting the hand off the floor. Good. And then releasing that side. And come down and rest into child's pose. Ooh. Take the arms beside you. Mm. And finding the flow of breath. And as the breath moves through the body, letting go of tension. Postures like that two-legged dog pose can be quite challenging. So noticing where you create tension in the body. Beautiful. Come on up and we'll come back into an all fours position. Waving the spine forward and back. Another beautiful way to relieve tension from the spine. The movement can be subtle or more exaggerated, but really it's the subtlety of movement we're looking for, finding the suppleness of the spine. there's an opposite direction. Always harder for me to find. Oh. Beautiful. And then downward facing dog pose. Pressing the heels down. Okay, this time, feet are hip width. We're going to lift the right leg, but we're going to lift the right hip as well. So we turn the front of the torso to look to the right, and you're looking under your right armpit. Arms are straight. Press the fingerprints. Bend your knee. Really opening the right side of the body. Beautiful. Release that side. Lift the left leg. Lift the left hip. Turn the front torso to the left, so you're looking under your left armpit. Ooh, bend the leg. Nice big stretch on the left side. Good, and then releasing that side back to center. And drop the knees to the floor. And we're going to take the hands off the floor and step the right foot forward for a big lunge. Bring the hands back to the floor. Left toes tucked under. Good. And at first, just start to warm up the hips in that action of moving forward. So the torso is leaning out over your right thigh. Bringing the left hip forward. Beautiful. Now, toes are tucked under of the left foot. We're going to lift the left knee just off the floor. Ooh. Nice work. Straighten your back leg now, and we're going to lift the whole torso up and the arms up, palms forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Draw the shoulder blades down. You bring your hips as close to the floor as you can, lifting the breastbone. Make more distance from the ears to the shoulders. Beautiful. Lean forward over your leg again. Sweep the arms up beside you. Palms up, fingers back, look forward. Nice work. Hands to the floor. Gently lower your left knee to the floor. Step your right knee back, and we'll take the hands off the floor. Big step forward with the left foot. Bring the hands back to the floor and lowering the hips towards the floor. Good. And then we're going to tuck the toes under of the right foot and lift the the right knee just off the floor. Ooh. So the right hip is moving forward, moving closer to the floor, but the knee is just off the floor. Nice work. Straighten your back legs. So really powerfully straighten. Feel strong into your legs as you lift your torso to Virabhadrasana 1 with the palms facing forward. Draw the shoulder blades down. Drop the hips a little closer. Straighten the back leg a little more. More distance from ears to shoulders and reach the back of the hands back. Beautiful. Hands to the front of the mat and stepping your left foot back. Downward facing dog pose. Nice. Now we're going to take the right leg up, bend the right leg, lift the right hip and look under your right armpit. Good. Bring that leg back down. Feet at hip width. Lift the left leg. Bend the left leg. Lift the left hip. Looking under the left armpit. Nice work. And release that side. And coming down and resting into child's pose. Ah. Feeling that deep flow of breath now. Energizing breath, replenishing breath. Mm. Lovely. So bring the knees together so your thighs are parallel to each other. Hands on the floor in front of your knees. And tuck your toes under and practice your movement of just lifting your knees up and down off the floor. So we're rolling on the toes here. Some people can come into a squat position with ease from there. So if that's you, what we're trying to do is roll right over the feet. So getting the heels down towards or onto the floor. So some people are tighter in the feet, and just that little movement of lifting knees up and down is plenty of work. Beautiful. And we're going to come up to standing. So maybe if you're able to do that squatting position, you can press into your heels and stand up. We're going to come to face the side of the mat. Standing with your feet hip width in parallel. And we're going to make jumps and make them nice heavy jumps out to wide-legged position. My whole house shakes. All right, put your toes in and the outside edges of your feet press down and the inner arches of your feet lift, kneecaps lift, front of the hips lift, belly lift, breastbone lift. Ooh. Good, and then we're going to come into a forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands underneath the shoulders. Start to go from side to side. You're going to bend one leg and the other will straighten as your hips come closer to the floor. So we're going to do that from side to side. And where you'll feel the stretch is those inner fibers of the hamstring along the inside of the thigh. Lift the pelvic floor. So we want to feel internal muscular support for the core. Good. So as those start to stretch, you're going to come back to center now. And then walk your hands over towards your left side or left foot or left side of the mat. And then give yourself a big stretch. So reach your right arm further. So you feel that stretch along the right side of your body. Legs are as straight as your knees can bear. So lifting your kneecaps strongly. And then back to the center and walking your hands over to the right. Really reach with your left hand. Ah. And then back to the center. Great. And then we're going to come back into that. So hands are under your shoulders. We're going to come back into stretching the legs from side to side. So noticing where you might feel that movement. Okay, now turn the toes out and do the same thing. And you'll feel that it's different. Okay, and as you swing your hips to one side, you can walk your hands in that direction too. So you'll bring the hips a little deeper. All right, walk the hands over to the right side. Turn your left toes in, your right toes
out so that the foot is parallel to the edges of the mat. And we're going to lift our right elbow up onto the right knee and left hand onto the left hip. And then see if you can bring the hips closer to the floor. So the knee is going to bend more deeply, the right knee. Finding your feet. Nice. Take your left hip back, left rib back. Feel that your heart has space around it. There's space for the flow of the breath. Can you make more length between your ears and your shoulders? And then lastly, reaching your left arm by your left ear. Nice work. Take your hands down onto the floor. Turn your right toes to center. Walk your hands over to the left side, near the left foot. Turn your left foot all the way out so that your foot is parallel to the edges of the mat. Bend your left hip. Good. Lift your left elbow up onto your left leg. Right hand onto the right hip. Parsvakonasana. And then see how the hips want to lift up. We don't want to quite take that deep bend in the left leg, but as much as you can. So explore that movement, dropping the hips closer to the floor, lifting the pelvic floor. Right hip rolling back, right ribs rolling back. Feel like there is space for the heart to beat. Space for the lungs. And then lastly, we're going to take the right arm by the right ear. Lifting pelvic floor, lifting the front core. Use the right buttock muscles, squeeze them to turn the torso a little more. Beautiful. Hands back to the floor. Turn the feet to face forward. Bring your hands to center. Turn the toes in, so both sets of toes in, and walk your hands forward as far as you can go. Lengthening through the back of the legs. Lifting the kneecaps, the quadriceps, the sit bones. Feeling the bones of the spine to be substantial, dense. Beautiful. Now we're going to come to sitting and think about the movements you might need to make to do that. If you want to follow what I'm doing, I'm going to jump my feet to a squatting position. Put my heels as close to the floor as I can and sit down with intention. Great. Now we're going to take the legs out wide. We'll stay off a blanket here for a moment. Excuse me, I've got such a hay fever reaction this morning. Something. We're going to put the hands behind the hips. And lifting the torso. Pressing the spine forward. Great. All right. Bring your left leg into a bent position. So bring the foot in as far as you can. And what we're going to do is put both hands on the mat over past the left knee. And we're going to try and reach out over that side. And you're going to bring your right leg behind you. You're going to take the right knee as far back behind you as you can. And you're going to reach your arms out as far as you can. So we're going to get a nice big stretch in the right side of the body. is a little bit like the preparation for the pigeon pose. We've just come into this differently. And easier to do in pigeon pose if you have trouble with your knees. Okay, we are going to breathe and feel where this can be longer. Ooh. Nice work. And then come back up to center and we take the legs back out to their widest position, whatever that might look like for you. And then bending in your right leg. Nice. You're going to take both your hands over to the right side, so on the floor beyond your right knee, and start to swing your left leg behind you as far as it will go. So really it's the knee we're trying to move back, the left knee, so that you get that nice stretch in the front of your left hip. All right, but what we're doing with the hands is walking them out from the legs, away from the legs, and really trying to reach the left arm in particular so that you start to lengthen that left side of the body. And we're paying attention. Giving yourself space and length where you need to. Being kind, passionate, and curious. Beautiful. And then gently lifting back up, coming back to the front. Oh, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together now. Holding on so you can lift your spine. And that might be holding your feet, holding your knees, or having your hands behind your hips. So whichever just feels like it gives you the best lift. Feeling the bone of your spine to be substantial. And breathing deeply. Beautiful. Simple cross-legged position. And if you grab your blanket and make a little seat for yourself, that's going to help with the forward bending. So just sitting up onto a little bit of support. So it starts to tip the pelvis forward. You can feel that difference of not using the support and using the support. Okay, if you have trouble in getting any movement forward from the torso, sort of perpendicular to the floor, then you're going to practice this using your spinal wave and really try to emphasize the belly button leading the forward movement. If you've got a lot of forward movement, you're going to find that to come into your full range of movement. And put your hands where they make sense to support you. Some people are doing the spinal wave movement, finding the supple and full movement along the spine. If you're in a forward movement where you're more static, feel with each breath that wave-like movement of the spine. And see if you can find those subtle movements of the bones forward, even though you're being reasonably still, feeling the flow of breath. Good, and then releasing that side so you can change the cross of the legs. Good, so we're either working on leading that forward movement with the belly button, finding your subtle movement forward. So either waving in the waving sequence or find your full range of motion forward. But still trying to find movement even though you're still, so that the posture is not static but full of breath, awareness, finding your supple and subtle movement. Good, and then release. And we're going to lay down and have your feet hip width and parallel and your legs width and parallel. Palms facing down. Lifting your hips now and lowering your hips. And you'll notice as you lower all the way down, even to the tailbone, this movement has a spinal wave component. So we're going to lift and lower. And you're going to try and articulate each bone of your spine. Good. Resting your back now. Hug in your left knee and take hold of your left foot with your right hand. And we're going to make that leg as straight as you can. So if you can't reach your foot with your hand, you could hold your thigh and try to straighten your leg. Or sometimes leggings are useful. And we're going to roll the lower half of the body over to the right side, but keep your left shoulder blade onto the floor and looking over the left shoulder. Maybe that left leg can go straight. Gather your core strength and awareness to lift the legs back up. Release your left foot back to the floor. Right leg hugs in, and we take hold of the right foot with the left hand or somewhere along your leg that makes sense. And we're going to try and straighten that leg. Good. And then the lower body rolls over to the left and the right shoulder blade stays on the floor. And we face over the right arm. Finding both the ease and the difficulty of the movement. And finding the comfort of the breath. Always there. Gathering your strength, your core strength, so that when you lift yourself back up, there's lots of support for your spine. And releasing that foot back down. Hug both knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. Some people might be able to stay for Shavasana. It's another 10 minutes. If you need to finish your practice from here, rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. And namaste. Thank you. Shavasana, people laying your legs out. And if there's any discomfort in your lower back, a blanket underneath your thighs, so close to the sit bone, gives a lot of relief. It just takes the tension out of the back a little. Some people might find that really comforting, or some, oh, excuse me, for some, a head support under the head can make the neck more comfortable. So we're looking to find a comfortable position for the spine. Letting the back of the body feel broad. And the front of the body free to move with the breath. So even though our intention is to be still here, there is always the movement of the breath. Bring your focus to your toes. Noticing how they feel. And now your feet and ankles. Lower leg. And knees. Thighs. Hips. And belly. And buttocks. Pelvic floor. Bring focus now to your lower back. Middle back. Between your shoulder blades. Feel the back of the ribs where they meet the spine. The movement of the side ribs and the front ribs with the breath. Find the breastbone and the collarbone. Relax along the collarbones to the shoulders. Bring focus to the armpits. All of those muscular attachments at rest now. Bring focus to your arms, upper arm, elbow, forearm. Wrists, palm, fingers, and thumb. The back of your neck and your throat. And the base of your skull, your scalp. Your forehead. Around your eyebrows, and between them, your eye, around your nose, your mouth, lips, and tongue, the organs of speech, your jaw, your ears, whole body at rest. Replenished with each breath, breath by breath. Let your breath deepen and lengthen, as though you could feel the breath through the skin of the body, the whole body. Let your breath quieten to its natural rhythm, volume, texture. Start to move your fingers and your toes, feeling the movement to be as natural as the breath. Moving your hands and your feet. Arms and legs. And rolling to your right side. And when you're ready, come up and have a seated position. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Feeling the spine lengthening. Tuned into the stability and strength of your body. The calm feeling of practice. And take that feeling with you. Namaste.